Hi everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. Today we will see how we can create a Lightning Web component to update the record details and how we can use the same Lightning Web component to get the updated values reflected on the record detail page. I will be walking you through a couple of options how you can utilize the Lightning Web component to update the record details. One option is to use the Lightning Data Services, whereby you can use the Lightning Record Edit form, and second option is to use the UI Record API utility from the Lightning Web component engine. Third alternative could be to use the Apex classes and update the Lightning record details using the Apex. That is the imperative approach. When we are talking about the Lightning data services and updating the record details using the Lightning record edit form or UI record API utility, they both would be using the Lightning data services, and Lightning data services will always be in sync with what you have at the back end and at the front end. So the changes that you are making using the Lightning data services, it will update both way, front end and the back end. I have created a Lightning Web component here, that is the update record detail page. And if you see this update record detail, and here I am using the two options. One is using the Lightning record edit form, which basically uses the object API name and the record ID to update. And the field for the demonstration, I'm using just the name field. And then the second option is to have the regular Lightning input and utilizing the buttons. One button would be to save using the UI record API, and one button to save it via the Apex. I have just updated the Lightning record edit page, and I have embedded this Lightning Web component on this flexi page of the account detail or account object, and we can see everything live in action now. So moving back again to the Lightning Web component that I have created, and the first option where I'm using the Lightning record edit form, and here you can see this handle submit function is being called from the click of this button. And if you see this handle submit, and what we are doing in handle submit is we are just taking what we have in the fields, that is the name field that we have given as a reference, and we are just submitting that particular form, and the LDS will do the rest. In the second approach, where we are taking an input from the customer in the Lightning input, and we are just hitting this button save via UI record API utility, and the functions handle save is being called from this click event. And on this handle save, what we are doing is we are just taking the name field and the ID field for the reference, and we are just passing in these two information to the update record UI record API utility that we have imported in our Lightning Web component. Next is when we are just providing as an input to this UI record API utility update record, and the LDS will again come in picture and will do the rest of the things. So next we have another option to save the same record using the Apex, and when we are with the Apex, then the Lightning data services will be out of sync. So what is there at the back end and what should be there at the front end? And let's see what is there at the Apex side of code. And when we are using this Apex side of code, where we are using the handle save Apex function from the LWC, and on this handle save Apex, we are calling the Apex method, which is the update record Apex. And in this, we are providing the record ID. Alongside the record ID, we are also providing the account name that we are taking as an input from the customer, and we are just updating that account name. Now, using this update record using the Apex, and let me just firstly comment out this. Don't worry about this code. You will get this code from the blog that I am giving you the reference of my blog in the description. You can anytime go to the description and click on that blog link. Okay, so this is now updated, and let me refresh this page to get the updated code. Yeah, meanwhile it refreshes the Lightning data services. Whenever it is in action, it will definitely be in sync with what we have at the back end and what is at the front end. Now, if you really see the first option where we are using the Lightning record edit form, and if I am saving it using Lightning record edit form, you can see the highlighted section, this custom component, and the standard record detail page is updating itself with the value. Similarly, if I'm changing this using the UI record API, at this time also you will get the updated values instantly. But since I have commented out the options to refresh the Lightning LDS cache, And this is where the backend functionality where I am updating the record using the Apex methods, I'll not be able to get the latest value at the front end. So if I will remove this 2 from the name, and if I will save this record using the Apex, so you will see the standard detail page or the highlighted panel are not being updated. And this is once you will refresh this page, you will get the updated values from the backend. Yeah, so let it get refreshed and then we'll see and verify. Yeah, so you can see the refresh value is being captured here at the account record detail page. So again, to the same question, how we can get the updated values instantly, then there are a couple of ways. Firstly, let's try it with firing the event force refresh view, and let me just deploy this. When we are using this eval function, and then in this we can provide what event is to be fired, and using this LWC, we can fire this force refresh view, which is basically firing this force refresh view event, and then the record detail page will be listening to that event, and it will refresh the LDS cache itself. Now let me refresh this, and this time if I'm trying to update anything, let's say I'm trying it with the 4, and I'm hitting the save via Apex button, and this time if I will see the record, the detail page is updated with all these 4 places, and I can see the same naming being reflected on all these 4 places. This is one of the approach where you can use the force refresh view event and how you can fire the force refresh view event in Lightning Web Components. But Salesforce doesn't recommend this, because using this approach, it will basically fire this event, and anything that you have at the record detail page will get refreshed, because this is not specific to a particular section or the component, it is for the whole page. Next is the get record notify change utility from the LDS, from the Lightning UI record API. And using this utility method, get record notify change, here you can pass in the record IDs as an input parameter, and only these components which have these record IDs will get updated with the latest changes. So now let me just deploy these particular sections of the code and refresh my Lightning record page as well to get the updated values that I have saved just now. Okay, so refreshing this record detail page will get the fresh codes that we have just saved or deployed from the VS Code. Now this time if I will remove this file and save via Apex, this time again, because I am using the get record notify change utility from the UI record API. This is basically notifying this record page that something has changed at the backend, and it will again reload itself. And this is again very much real time, if you see, and this is very much flexible as well, better performance, because it doesn't have to update the complete page. It is just the specific areas, and the record ID that you are providing will be updated. So now let me change it back to 6, for example, and say via Apex. So this is being updated all the 4 places. And if I will remove it, let's say I'm giving it 1 back again using the UI record API, it will again be reflecting in all the 4 places. And similarly, if I change it using the LDS where I'm using the Lightning recorded form, it will again be updating all the 4 places. And let me just remove it again, take it simple, test account SLDS, and if I will save it, it is getting saved. Sorry, I can see there is a typo. And here this time I will save it via Apex. Again, this will be reflecting in all the 4 places. So this is all about how we can utilize this Lightning Web component and how we can use this Lightning Web component to refresh the Lightning recorded form explicitly. Thank you very much.